Welcome to week 6. We are in our second week of the Cold War. This unit has always been a challenge to teach because it covers over 50 years. World War II spanned only 4. There is a lot to cover that is fascinating, but we're limited on time. Remember, the definition of a Cold War is when two countries oppose each other but do not directly engage in direct warfare. This is fortunate for the United States and the Soviet Union, and the world for that matter, because if these hostile nations had engaged in direct warfare, most assuredly nuclear weapons would have been used, which would have resulted in utter annihilation for the world. The focus of this week's reading assignments are proxy wars during the Cold War. You are more than likely familiar with these wars, but maybe not the term proxy war. These wars include the Korean War and the Vietnam War. The United States definitely fought in these wars, and many Americans perished. The United States' involvement, however, centered on the foreign policy goal of keeping communists and communism from spreading. The terms involved in these policies are containment and the domino theory, which you will define below. So while the United States fought, it did not directly fight Communist Russia or China. The US, the USSR, and China all used other countries, Korea and Vietnam, to fight, but it was very important that they never fought each other directly. The consequences, as mentioned above, would be too catastrophic. Finally, I want you to read about the Cuban Missile Crisis. This is the closest the United States and the Soviet Union came to all-out war, which would have resulted in the use of nukes for sure. How close was it? Very. Cuba is only about 90 miles away from the United States. Its closest state is Florida. That's about the distance between Sunnyside and Ellensburg. Cuba is also a communist country, and President Kennedy received intelligence that the Soviet Union was placing nuclear weapons on Cuba that could target the United States. This was unacceptable to the United States. What resulted is the scariest and most dangerous game of chicken that the world had ever seen. We miss all you guys. Thanks for your participation. Have a great week. Please define the following words below. Number 1, proxy war. Number 2, containment theory or containment. Number 3, domino theory. And number 4, brinkmanship. Have a great week.